It's another bedtime reading vlog with the girl. Pronounce the T. I'm fading fast. I'm trying to read more of this book, Screaming on the Inside. The Unsustainability of American Motherhood. So I'm at a point now where I'm ready to stop reading and kind of fall asleep, but the book is really confirming a few things for me and helping me to unlearn a few things about motherhood and about how I don't have to be the only one. I can live my life too. I can leave him with his father. His father is a responsible party in raising him. And I don't have to be the sole caregiver. From what I read in the book, I've read history. I've read the history of America and how rearing the children became the mother's responsibility. Only the mother, and the father can go off and live his life, or I'm exaggerating, but the father has license, has permission to go and work outside the home and to leave the responsibility of the child with the mother. And that's not, it doesn't have to be that way. It does not have to be that way. And it shouldn't be that way. But that's not the way I want it to be. I want to be able to live life and go earn and go pursue and go and participate and commune and to fellowship and to do all the things and not have to be bogged down by motherhood. And I hesitate to use the word bogged down, but that's the first thing that came to mind, and frankly, that's how I feel. This is not only my responsibility, and there are other capable parties. There is another capable party, or at least another party who should take responsibility and who should take accountability. Another party who should be an active participant in the raising of this child. So that's what I've been reading about. I did take some notes that I kind of wanted to talk about too. I wrote down that in early America, there were no industries outside of the home. So fathers were very involved. Fathers were very hands-on in domestic life, while mothers were tasked with continuing the sensibilities of England, of bringing up civilized children, teaching them and cooking and cleaning and doing all the domestic things. So that was early America. And also during that time, during the colonial times, women, mothers, were focused a lot on piety and on being, saved, going to heaven, living a pious life, living a virtuous life. So they would just leave the children to God and just pray for the best, pray for their children to eventually make it into heaven. And so as a result of that, a lot of their children died. They would fall into wells and have all kinds of accidents, die from fires and things because their mothers were too busy working and their mothers were too busy trying to be Miss Goody Two Shoes that the children were just doing whatever they wanted to do, running amok. And they would have like 11 children that would kind of get into trouble. or end up dying because their mothers were busy being pious. I thought that was really interesting. I also wrote, okay, there were a few ideas that I wanted to really reflect on. The individual, all important mother. The individual, all important mother. The individual, like you're not a community. You're not a part of the community. You're the individual, one person who can do everything and who the children come to for everything. Who can live up to that? Who can sustain that? I certainly can't. So I need to really think seriously about sharing this responsibility and relinquishing some of the weight, some of the load. I don't have to be a mule anymore. I'm free. I also wrote down that children are the core of a woman's duties. That just became, that was the result of the men going out and the women staying in. So a lot of times the mothers would look to the children for emotional stability or emotional support. Where they would once look to their husbands for that, mothers would look to their children for emotional satisfaction. And really, that's not a good thing either. You know, you need to be able to satisfy your emotions on your own, through your own actions, through your own endeavors, not looking outward for someone to satisfy you. And then there was one other idea that I thought was really interesting and I want to think twice about too. There is one particular social cue that laid the framework for fathers being absent in the child's life. And that started early on because when the mother would go into labor or in delivery, what happens to the dad? What happens to the man? He has to leave the room. And so right then and there, that is an indication, an early indication that, hey, this is the mother's job. This is for the mother to handle, and she can do it on her own with the support of other people, not the father. So anyway, those are some of my thoughts. Some of my thoughts while I'm reading this book. Screaming on the Inside, the Unsustainability of American Motherhood. Follow me for more. Subscribe to my channel so you can see more of these bedtime reading vlogs with your girl. Pronounce the T. Nighty night.